Do you feel deeply for others and often put their needs before your own? Do you have a strong intuition and a sense of justice? Do you sometimes feel overwhelmed by the emotions of others and the world around you? If you answered yes to these questions, you might be a super empath, a person who has a heightened ability to sense and understand the feelings of others. In this video, we will explore the concepts of super empathy and narcissism and how they relate to each other. We will help you determine if you are a super empath and how to defend yourself from narcissists, who are people who can cause you a lot of pain and damage. Super empathy and narcissism are two sides of the same coin, but they have very different outcomes. Super empathy is a gift, but it can also be a curse. Narcissism is a flaw, but it can also be a weapon. How can you use your super empathy as a talent, not a flaw? And how can you protect yourself from narcissism as a weapon, not a strength? Stay tuned and find out. The first thing you need to know is how to recognize if you are a super empath. A super empath is a person who has a heightened ability to sense and understand the feelings of others. Super empaths are not just empathetic, they are empathic. They can literally feel what others are feeling, sometimes even more than the others themselves. Super empaths have some distinctive signs and symptoms that set them apart from normal empaths or highly sensitive people. Here are some of the most common ones. You feel deeply for others and often sacrifice your own well-being for their sake. You are always ready to help, comfort, or support anyone who is in need, even if they are strangers or enemies. You have a hard time saying no or setting boundaries because you don't want to hurt or disappoint anyone. You have a strong intuition and a sense of morality. You can easily read people's emotions, intentions, and motives, even if they try to hide them. You can also sense the energy and vibes of people, places, and situations. You have a clear sense of right and wrong, and you always try to do the right thing, even if it costs you. You are overwhelmed by the emotions of others and the world around you. You are very sensitive to the pain, suffering, and injustice that exist in the world, and you often feel helpless or hopeless about it. You also absorb the emotions of others, especially the negative ones, and you feel them as your own. You sometimes experience emotional overload, which can lead to exhaustion, anxiety, or depression. These are some of the signs and symptoms of being a super empath. Of course, not all super empaths are exactly the same, and you may have some variations or combinations of these traits. But if you can relate to most of them, chances are you are a super empath. Being a super empath is a rare and powerful gift, but it can also come with some challenges, especially when you encounter narcissists, who are people who have a distorted sense of self and a lack of empathy. The second thing you need to know is how to cope with the challenges of being a super empath. Being a super empath is not easy, and it can have some negative consequences for your physical, mental, and emotional health. Here are some of the difficulties that super empaths face and how to overcome them. You feel exhausted, lonely, or misunderstood. Being a super empath can drain your energy and make you feel tired, especially if you are constantly exposed to the emotions of others and the world around you. You may also feel isolated or alienated because not many people can understand or appreciate your gift. You may also feel frustrated or resentful because you give so much and receive so little in return. You need to take care of yourself and recharge your batteries. You can do this by spending some time alone, doing something that makes you happy, or meditating. You also need to find people who can support you and accept you for who you are. You can do this by joining a community of like-minded people, such as a support group, a club, or an online forum. You also need to communicate your feelings and needs to others, and ask for help when you need it. You attract abusive people and relationships. Being a super empath can make you a magnet for narcissists, who are people who have a distorted sense of self and a lack of empathy. Narcissists can be very harmful and manipulative to super empaths, who often fall for their charm and charisma. Narcissists can exploit your kindness, compassion, and loyalty, and make you feel guilty, ashamed, or worthless. They can also gaslight you, which means they can make you doubt your own reality and sanity. You need to recognize the signs and patterns of narcissistic abuse and manipulation. You can do this by educating yourself about narcissism, reading books, articles, or blogs, or watching videos or podcasts. You also need to break free from the narcissists in your life and cut off all contact with them. You can do this by seeking help from your friends, family, or authorities, or by getting a restraining order or a divorce. You also need to heal from the trauma and damage that the narcissists have caused you. You can do this by going to therapy, joining a support group, or finding a new hobby or passion. These are some of the challenges that super empaths face and how to cope with them. Of course, not all super empaths have the same experiences or problems, and you may have some variations or combinations of these difficulties. But if you can relate to some of them, chances are you are a super empath. Being a super empath is a rare and powerful gift, but it can also come with some challenges, especially when you encounter narcissists, who are people who have a distorted sense of self and a lack of empathy. The final thing you need to know is how to use your super empathy against narcissists. Being a super empath can be a strength, not a weakness, if you know how to use it wisely and responsibly. Super empaths have some unique advantages and skills that can help them defend themselves from narcissists, who are people who can hurt them and take advantage of them. Here are some of them. You can trust your gut and instinct. You can use your sensitivity and awareness to detect the signs and signals of narcissism, such as lies, manipulation, or exploitation. You can also use your logic and reasoning to verify and validate your gut feelings and instincts, and to avoid being fooled or deceived by the narcissist's charm and charisma. You can trust yourself, your feelings, and your perceptions, and not let the narcissists make you doubt your own reality and sanity. You can assert your rights and desires. You can use your compassion and loyalty to value and respect yourself and your own needs, and not to neglect or sacrifice them for the sake of others. You can also use your creativity and spirituality to pursue your own goals and passions, and not to let the narcissists interfere or sabotage them. You can stand up for yourself, your rights, and your desires, and not let the narcissists make you feel guilty, ashamed, or worthless. You can seek help and support. You can use your connection and bond with others to find and reach out to people who can help and support you, such as friends, family, or professionals. You can also use your healing and inspiration to help and support others who are in the same situation as you, such as fellow super empaths or survivors of narcissistic abuse. You can ask for help, offer help, or join a help network, and not let the narcissists isolate or control you. These are some of the ways that you can use your super empathy against narcissists, who are people who can hurt you and take advantage of you. Of course, not all super empaths have the same abilities or strategies, and you may have some variations or combinations of these methods. But if you can apply some of them, chances are you can protect yourself from narcissists. In this video, we have learned about super empathy and narcissism and how they relate to each other. We have helped you determine if you are a super empath and how to defend yourself from narcissists, who are people who have a distorted sense of self and a lack of empathy. We hope this video has been helpful and informative for you. If you enjoyed it or learned from it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends. If you have any questions, comments, or stories to share, please leave them in the section below. We would love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.